Hey everybody, today is Friday, June 3rd, and we're ready to do Maple's pick video. I know a lot of you have been excited about this day, and we're excited to present these pups to you. We got here to our pavilion to do kind of our little analysis with some personality things. They have been here before, as many of you know, but this is a great place to kind of get them away from mom and a familiar environment, put them in a different environment and see some of their personality traits coming out and how they react to a few different things. So we're just gonna let the pups play here for a minute, and then we'll start the pick video selection process and get that going. I will mention these pups, you know, they're 5 weeks old. Physically, they're quite a bit bigger for the most part than Fern's pups, and mentally, you know, they're at the same stage as far as Fern's pups were at this 5-week-old age. So physically they're a little bit bigger, mentally and emotionally they're about the same place. So this is a good time to be doing this analysis and presenting our observations from the last couple of weeks to you. So we will get started on that pick selection process here and share our findings with you. So we'll get the camera set up and get that going. Okay, so we've had the pups out playing for a little bit, and sometimes we get lucky and the pups get tuckered out enough to fall asleep before the video starts. But it's the middle of the afternoon. It is a beautiful day here at the summit, and the pups are just having a ball. It's not too hot, not too cold. They've had a great breakfast. It's the afternoon now, and I don't have a ton of time to wait for the pups to fall asleep. I've got to be in Louisville this afternoon. That's like 4 hours of driving round trip, plus the time I need to be in Louisville. So I've got to just start this video. And I've got a puppy that's bumping where the camera is. Sorry if it gets shaky, but we've got some of the pups that are starting to hang out right here where I'm at, and others are still out and playing. So we're just gonna start picking them out of the play area that they're at and go with it. So Miss Purple is right here. We're gonna start at the top of the list. So this is in no particular order, and some of these guys might be super wiggly and not very laid back for the camera. That's okay. They want to just play right now, and they need to be the star of the show for a second. So I'm gonna interrupt their playtime, and they might protest that a little bit, but we'll just pick them up and go start at the top and work our way down the list. So this is the order in which they were presented in the birth video. Some of their color markings are a little bit more apparent in the birth video. At this stage, their puppy coat is overtaking their newborn coat, and that changes what is visible at this age. And they have more of the same markings as an adult as they have with their newborn coat. So right now, this coat they have, this puppy coat, is slightly different, and some of their markings are a little bit muted and less pronounced. But so you can kind of refer back to that newborn video and their litter introduction video if you have some questions about some of the markings that we may not be able to see super well with this puppy coat. So this is Miss Purple. At birth, she was 0.9 pounds. Right now, she's 6.9 pounds. So out of the girls, she's not the biggest, but kind of middle of the road as far as, no, I take that back. She is the biggest, 6.9 pounds. So she's kind of the, sorry, I was looking down the list and I had a boy weight in my mind. Some of the boys are bigger than her, but she's the biggest out of the girls. So 6.9 pounds and just a great personality. She's kind of an explorer personality, middle of the Sorry about that little pause in there. I started talking and had a tickle in my throat. Got really dry there for a second. So I'll try to get my voice back here off of the coughing mode and pick up where I left off. So personality-wise, Miss Purple here, quite the explorer. She's a middle of the road as far as disposition goes, and kind of the pecking order in their amongst her litter mates. So she has basically solid chest and solid neck. We're not seeing anything new indicators for any markings there. At birth, she just had kind of a very slight marked groin spot, and that's not apparent right now. Their puppy coat that changes, they get a very light layer of fur, and they're very bald on their tummy. So some of their puppy coat doesn't show all of their markings at this age because of that. So, but that's Miss Purple. So next we'll move on to Miss Peach, and I'll see if I can get her to come over to me. All the pups have scattered at the moment. Okay, so I'm back here with Miss Peach, and at birth she was 1.12 pounds, and currently she's 6.04 pounds. She is second smallest out of the girls and second smallest out of the litter. So not the biggest pup, but she's not necessarily undersized for a Vizsla at this age. She's still a very good sized pup, but Maple's pups trend. These pups are trending to be a little bit larger, as Maple is, and so that's to be expected there. So right now she, we had a note that she had a very slight neck marking, and if we're looking close, we can kind of see that. And so then a very slight marked chest, and if I tilt her back, sorry, I'm gonna make you stop playing and you're gonna protest, huh? She had this slight chest marking and then a slight marking on her groin, which is not apparent right now. And so actually her chest markings and her neck markings, they're very muted right now, very faded into this puppy coat, barely visible. So Miss Peach, she is a spunky personality and kind of middle of the road as far as pecking order, and just sweet and fun as they come. So that is Miss Peach. And next we'll move on to Light Pink, and I'm gonna see if I can see her. There she is over there. So Miss, okay, so this is Light Pink, and color of ribbon can be a little bit tricky with Peach and Light Pink, but they're actually very different size-wise. Light Pink here is 6.83 pounds, so she's almost the biggest out of the females, so good sized gal. And her coat color, she's solid, so no markings that we noted at birth, and we're not seeing any at this time. So she's just a solid pup, just as cute as they come as well. So she also kind of has an explorer personality, likes to be adventurous and get out and see new things and experience different things. She has a middle of the road personality when it comes to the pecking order amongst her litter mates. So that is Miss Peach. I take that back. That is Miss Light Pink. So, sorry, I called her the wrong color, but I am just double checking my notes. Yes, that's where I got off. On my notes, I had middle of the road personality on both Peach and Light Pink, and that is the case. So, sorry, I misspoke there for a second. I'll keep my eyes on the right spot on my notes. So, we'll go on to Bright Pink next, and she's right here. at my feet. The pups are starting to wind down. So Bright Pink is 5.63 pounds right now. At birth, she was 1.1 pounds. And so she is the smallest out of the females right now. We had a note that she had a very slight chest marking, and I'm not really seeing it right now. Then we had the note that she had the slight groin marking, and that's not visible right now. But her toes were heavily marked on the back left, and that's very visible still, and slightly marked on a back right toe on her foot, and so that's still the case. So she has some fun stocking feet that'll kind of show off when she's out and running. So that is Miss Hot Pink. Personality wise, quite playful, and middle of the road personality as well amongst her litter mates. So that is Bright Pink. Next we'll go on to Miss Neon, and she's over laying down on a blanket. I'm gonna go grab her. Come on. Are you gonna come over? Come on. Oh, here she comes. Okay. I became more interesting than the blanket she was playing with, huh? So this is Neon. At birth, she was 1.05 pounds. Right now, she's 6.61 pounds. So pretty good size for a female in this litter. And at birth, we noted that she had a slight neck marking, and that is still apparent here across the collar area. If you can see that in the camera. And then she had the slight groin marking. That's not visible at this time, but may come back later. So Miss Neon, she's a more happy, bouncy personality, very playful. She's a little bit more confident and assertive, so she'd like to be a little bit more of the leader of the pack if she could, which is not a bad thing. And just it becomes one of those scenarios where all the pups will establish the pecking order, and one always rises to the top. So Miss Neon has earned that spot at this time, and so she likes to kind of call the shots a little bit. So that is Miss Neon. And next we'll go to Mr. Blue, and I'm going to turn the camera over and show off the pups here. They're starting to wind down and fall asleep here at my feet. We've got them kind of around my little stand with my notes, my camera, and I check what I'm doing on the GoPro on my phone. So we've got these guys tuckered out now and finally laying down. And what I wanted to show you was we'd like to try to do a little bit of crate conditioning, where when we have them out playing, we will leave the crates available to let the pups experience a crate without being trapped in them. And this is what we like to see. We like to see when the pups are comfortable with the crates enough to walk in there, walk back out, play, have fun, and oftentimes they will choose to fall asleep in there. So this is a little bit of what we aim to accomplish with our gentle introduction of crates. And Mr. Blue is a little bit of a success story with that. So he was just comfortable enough to walk in there and fall asleep. We brought him up in the crates from our place, and they yanked the blankets out and dragged them out everywhere. Get wood chips in them. I gotta shake those out, but that's why we got wood chips in the crates as well. Mr. Blue, can you come wake up for the video? Oh, he is out for the count. I'm gonna have to bring him and pull him out, so I'll pause the camera for this. Okay, we're back with Mr. Blue, and he was out like a light. Had so much fun, just couldn't wake up after playing. So this is Mr. Blue. At birth, he was 1.19 pounds. currently is 7.5 pounds. So all these boys are definitely good sized, and of the boys, he is the middle for this litter. So at birth, we noted he had a very slight neck marking, and so if I tilt him back and take a look there, that's still the case, that it's very slight there. And then we had a note that he had a very small dot on his chest, and with this puppy coat, I'm having a hard time seeing that. And then his slight groin marking is not apparent at this time at all. So personality-wise, he is a confident pup, more middle personality, kind of borderline between assertive and kind of middle personality. So he is kind of ranked up there near the top with the boys, but not quite there yet. So that's where he is in the pecking order with things. So next we'll go on to Mr. Orange. I need to find him. I think he's back underneath here, and track him down. Okay, Mr. Orange was out for the count over there. He was tuckered out and sleeping too. So here is Mr. Orange. At birth, he was 1.23 pounds, and currently he's 8 pounds, 8.03. Barely tipped the scales, but he made it to 8 pounds. That is a big pup for this age for sure. We've noticed that he eats quite a bit. He's often had kind of this rotund look to his belly, and we've thought, man, he's never turned his nose up at a meal ever in his life, and that's the case for sure. Something also kind of contributes to his size is he's a little bit more laid back on his personality, so not quite as active as some of the others. Therefore, he doesn't burn off the calories, and so he's still inquisitive, fun, playful pup, but a little bit more laid back. We haven't noticed any kind of heavy reservations or timid pups with this group. Oftentimes we'll kind of make noises, unusual and loud noises, and see how they respond. You know, do they take off and retreat or start whining or anything like that? Or do they approach the sound inquisitively, confidently, those types of things? And so he's a little bit more laid back, but he's not a timid pup. He was inquisitive with some of those sounds and things like that. He would approach things that way. So at birth, he had kind of his heavy neck marked. He was the more marked pup, and he's still the case that way now. You can see his heavily marked neck, and then he has his big patch on his chest, and then he was marked in his groin, but we can't really see much of that right now. And so, and then his toes, on his back toe, had a slight marking on his back left. And we're seeing a few light hairs on his back right at this time. Just a few, but he's got some there. So that is Mr. Orange. And then last but not least, we've got Mr. Red coming up. He's right underneath me. And so this is Mr. Red. At birth, he was 1.14 pounds, and right now he's 7.16. So out of the boys, he's the smallest of this litter, but definitely not small for a Vizsla of this age. 7 pounds is definitely a full-size pup. So he has a very slight neck marking that we still note at this age, if you can see that in the camera. And then he's got his chest marking right there. It's kind of a small spot there. And then we noted that he was heavily marked in his groin area, and we can see a few hairs from that still. and then he had his back left toe that was kind of frosted, and that is still the case. So, and there might be a few spots on his right paw that I'm seeing a few hairs that are a little bit lighter, but that is Mr. Red. So that kind of rounds out the bunch with giving you another up close look at all of them. And they're starting to wind down and fall asleep. I don't think I'm going to be able to wake them and get them all together for kind of the color comparison of their coat colors. These pups are pretty close. We're not seeing a super dark or super blonde one. So the best thing to do with their color comparisons is refer back to some of the early videos of when they were just babies and would hold still for the camera, and we could show you them side by side. So kind of refer back to those early videos for some of their coat comparison colors. So anyways, we're excited to share this group with you and let you see some of their unique differences, tell you what our observations are about their personalities, and so you can make a choice between them all when it's your turn to pick. So we're excited to do this, and thank you for your time with watching this video. So until next time, see you later.